Hi, how are you? Well, I'm great. I am going to share with you some stories about my dragon. Some dragon stories from my aquamarine dragon. And I'm going to channel her. This will be a channeling video where I'm channeling Crystal. Not Crystal Blue from my stories. I know it's kind of redundant having two names, but I do believe that when I wrote my books, I was channeling my dragon. And so I want to honor her. I could call her the crystal water dragon. And she's just really, really excited. And she's so beautiful that I really want to just talk about her and just tell you some stories that I believe she wants to share with you. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to do just a moment or two of deep breathing. I'm going to invite in my crystal water dragon, who is my soul essence, who I just recently went through a deep healing with. I found her, who is, when I say her, I can say the same thing as me. She was chained deep within a mountain, and she was being, I hate to use the word tortured, but let's say she was, for reasons that were so painful for her tribe, had decided that she was not good for the tribe anymore. And they exiled her from their tribe. She wandered alone for many, many years. And then she was captured because she had lost her powers. She had become vulnerable. So I have found her, and I rescued her, and I released her from these chains, and we've been healing together. My crystal water dragon and I. So I will bring her in now. Greetings to you on this beautiful day. I am the crystal water dragon, and I do have things to share. I have stories to share that some of you will find akin to. You will be akin to. You will feel a resonance with. You will resonate with. My human avatar, Paula, is very brave. Before she incarnated in this form, she was very hesitant because she knew the pain that would be awakened. And as many of us have discovered, as we awaken, it's very painful for many reasons. First, we remember the horrors that we've experienced. Secondly, when you know the truth about how the world operates, it can throw you down into deep despair. And third, when you know how special you are and how unique, and when you know you carry a divine spark, a Christ consciousness when you're young, and you know this, but the world around you does not see this, it creates a shield of some sort. Scales, dragon scales. And I wore them proudly when Paula was young. She was not understood by anybody. She had some childhood friends, luckily, that she met, and it saved her. her wonderful friend Lori when she was younger. Paula and Lori decided to incarnate together on this planet and find each other because both were quite wounded. But they helped heal each other through play, through imagination, through their silly antics with their ponies. And they are still in contact with each other, though they no longer see each other physically. They do contact each other. And I know that Paula is very grateful for this because Paula's family is very loving and they embrace her. But they don't understand her because Paula hasn't given them that opportunity. But she will. So many thousands of years ago, even before the days of Atlantis, of which I took a very active role in, I was an energy being, an energetic being who traveled the universe. I was not of a mass form. I was thought. I was love. I was compassion. I was intellect. And I was a watcher. I was a gold being. I was part of the Gold One tribe. These kind of attributes for a dragon, they have their certain challenges. For I took part in many incarnations in the Orion Wars. And if you're not sure what that means, I tell to you, do your own research. Find out what that means for you. I've incarnated on this planet often. Every time I've encountered, no, I won't say every time. I will say 75% of my incarnations on this planet are filled with betrayal, grief, pain, and loss. So it was very difficult for me to do it again. But I knew this time was different. I knew after I chose the family, which is perfect for the being Paula to be born into, after I chose them and gathered my team around me, of which there are many, because it is easy to slip out of an incarnation when you carry the scars that I carry. But I brought in a special quality. I brought in magic. I brought in play. I brought in a fairy-like quality to Paula when she was young. She didn't have your proverbial invisible friends, but she had spirits all around her that she interacted with until the age of 4 or 5. And something happened to her, nothing physical, nothing traumatic, but she was so startled when she saw me. I appeared to her as a pink nebulous cloud. She often wandered her house in the dark at night because she was looking for something. This tiny being, this very young girl, was searching for home. She didn't know it. I was always there with her. But because we've gone through the veil of forgetfulness when we incarnate as humans on this planet, something we chose to do, we volunteered. We weren't sucked back in, although there isn't, I don't know. I'm not sure how I think about that as far as the soul trap. There is a theory there out there, but I think I'm stronger, and many of us are, not to be trapped. But we came back to fulfill an obligation, a contract, if you will. And Paula missed home so desperately. She missed her star family, her tribe. She, at that young age, with her undeveloped critical thinking skills, didn't understand that they were with her already. But she couldn't see them, feel them, touch them. And her family that she chose, who were very loving, they didn't have her connection to spirit. So when she would talk about magical, playful antics, fairies, unicorns, dragons, they dismissed her as just being silly and have a wild imagination, and she needs to get more serious and settle down. Well, you know what that does to children. But there is no blame here. And I bring up Paula a lot in this talk because Paula and I are one and the same. I am she and she is me. And we are each other's playmates. I have gotten much out of her lifetime. I have grown immensely. She started talking to me probably mid-80s and calling me Blue. She didn't know she was talking to the blue water dragon. Her daughters know this because there were a few supernatural encounters with this blue being, and her daughters know exactly what I'm talking about. Paula is very lucky to have the daughters that she does. They are magnificent, sparkly beings of light. She's very fortunate to have the mother that she does, because her mother, although she has forgotten, introduced her to the world of metaphysics in the early 80s, where her mind was blown when she started remembering these star systems and ascended masters such as Adamus, Saint Germain, Jesus, Yeshua, as she calls him. So I could tell you stories about me as the dragon and other incarnations, but what really excites me and puts me into this frame of channeling through Paula is the wisdom that she can expose and the playfulness. Anybody who knows her knows that she loves to play. It's hard for her, although she's been pretty serious the last 5 years, I must say. She's been pretty serious, but she did find the most amazing job. She's a gardener. She gets to play in the gardens, and that's her favorite thing. Lucky her. And I'm right there with her, as well as all the fairies and Gaia, Mother Earth, because she has a special skill set when it comes to flowers and plants. And she works with some amazing people. She's very fortunate. She has 2 grandsons that she can't get enough of them. She just can't. And they are both sparks of love and light. Behind her, I want to introduce to you Serafina. She is a character in one of Paula's books. Paula is an author. And she has animals all around her house in various corners. She has zebras and cows and pigs and horses, elephants. It's funny though, she doesn't have any whales because she is a water dragon. Always wondered this about her, but she hasn't encountered that visual yet. Although she does communicate quite often with the whales, for she was a whale. And she still is. And there is an incarnation, an aspect of Paula that is the whale. There's an aspect of Paula that lives in the Lyran system and still is playing out her part in the Andromeda system as a Native American, as a divine feminine goddess on the planet Regulus. Some call it Regulus in the Orion system. Isn't that marvelous? Isn't it just the most amazing story? And we're all right there, every one of us. Paula's just been pretty quiet over her lifetime, because when she was young, she was told to be quiet. And when you're little, you listen to those in authority. And when she did start to talk about her internal world, she was met with skepticism, rolling eyes, turning of the back, laughter. And so she has kept her world close to the vest, let's say. But just in the last 18 months, this is starting to melt away. And be damned if you don't like it. If you don't like this part about her, then fine. She has let a lot of friendships go because her friends just did not understand her enough to let her speak her words. She was shut down quite often. And she allowed this. No one's fault. And so we all know how this is. If you're in a friendship or a group or a community or a family system where your voice is not validated, where your essence is not validated, it's okay to move on. I've moved on from many relationships. I've had to, because I am very, very important. My soul has an evolution that Paula, as the human avatar, is the designated ascendee for all her past lives and all her ancestors. Sometimes they say the black sheep of the family is the way shower, is the one who will step out of the box, out of the comfort zone, and forge ahead for those that have died in a timeline that is always looping. So their physical form might not be physical manifestation today, but time is a loop, so it's continuous. The past, present, and future are all happening at the same time in all different dimensions. I know, pretty heavy, very metaphysical, but it's true. And so as Paula forges ahead and speaks her mind and her truth, she is helping all of those that have gone on before her. She is helping all her past lives right now. Every character, every person in her ascension, her lineage, her bloodline, they're evolving with her. They're waking up. They're shaking their heads and saying, wow, today I feel lighter. Today I think I won't go down that road. Today I think that neighbor who is abusing me verbally, instead of me just standing there and listening and taking their words on, I'm not going to listen anymore, and I'm just going to say, you need to stop now. That is enough. All of her incarnations, even the star systems, all of the warriors that are out there that she is directly attached to are evolving right along with her. And everyone who is on their path to awakening, whether you are still sound asleep and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you might be going, what? But you're still listening. You are on the road to awakening. And just remember, you have a job to do. And it's not a hard job. It is not. You do need to do some shadow work. I've done my shadow work. If you're not sure what that means, look it up. Look it up. I've had the dark night of my soul. I've had more than one. But because I'm surrounded by a loving family who does support me, they might not always embrace everything I have to say, because I do kind of get a little bit excited about how things should be handled moving forward, especially in this time of systems collapsing. When you're awake, you learn things, and you know things, you find out the truth of things, and sometimes it will break your heart. It'll shatter your heart. But we're all warriors. We're warriors of light. We're lovers of light. We're star beings. And we can do this. We can all do it together if we find our community and our tribe. You're my tribe. So somewhere in there, I have slipped, and that's okay, because there's no right or wrong way to do this. When I bring in my crystal dragon, it's like the multi-screen window I use when I read from my books. I have 2 or 3 screen panels open, so they're both open and aware, and sometimes that's how I feel when I talk about as my crystal dragon, as Crystal Blue, as Paula, as PB Morlen the writer, because it doesn't really matter, does it? The words are there and the energy is behind them, and the energy is filled with compassion and love and truth to who you are, why you're here. And you're here for your own awakening, not mine, not your mom's, and we're not responsible for anybody else's awakening either. That's a pretty good point to remember. You don't need to wake other people up. I'm not trying to wake you up. I'm just sharing stories about me and the dragons and other aspects because I enjoy them. I enjoy them so much. So, as I always say, make sure you hit the subscribe and hit the like button and share with anyone you feel so inclined to share this with. And if you don't feel like you want to do any of that, that's okay. That's all right. I love you all. I hope you all have a fabulous day. And please enjoy life. It is here for the enjoyment, not to struggle, not to push against the river, but jump in your canoe, grab a paddle, or don't grab your paddle. Jump in your canoe, lay back, and enjoy the ride. Namaste.